Hi guys, so I thought I'd just do a quick video on my advice on how to get bigger and stronger and how to put on mass and size. Now, when I first started, I was about 18 years old. I did start roughly doing some resistance work when I was 16, doing sit-ups and press-ups and very like dumbbell work in my bedroom and stuff, but we're talking minor amounts, typical sort of stuff that any 15, 16-year-old would do in their bedroom, right? But with limited equipment. But I have done boxing since I was 5, so when I was about 18, when I first started doing weights on a regular basis, I was the height I am now, so 6'3", and I weighed in at 10.5 stone, which is roughly 70 kilos, roughly thereabouts, maybe just a little over, but about 70 kilos. So as you can imagine, especially for someone of that height, I was very slim, but also not exactly muscular. Now, like any 18-year-old, I thought I was very defined and athletic and pretty big and all the rest of it. And when I did like the bicep pose and all the rest of it, you could see my bicep. I had a six-pack and all the rest of it, but nonetheless, I wasn't in like ripped condition either. So and I certainly didn't have massive muscles. Now, I mean, the biggest I've ever got. I weighed in, which was Christmas last year, so a few months ago. I weighed in at 19.5 stone. So in the space of 10 years, I put on basically 9 stone, all of which is basically muscle. Now, at that point, I had a little bit of bloat on me, a little bit more than normal. So I'm a little lighter now. I'm about 18 stone. So at least I've put on at least 7.5, 8 stone of muscle. If we're talking about the same condition from one person from one time to another, so putting on 8-9 stone of muscle, 7 to 9 stone of muscle over 10 years, that's a lot. That's a big gain to make for anyone. If you consider it, I basically almost doubled my body weight, because at my biggest I was 120 kilos and started off at just around about 70 kilos, so almost double body weight without growing in height. Now that's, as I say, a massive difference. And so this is just a very quick video. I'm not going to go on much about it, because you can go into the details and all the rest of it. And if people want those specifics on particular types of cycles or workout styles and all the rest of it, then obviously I can do follow-up videos. But my first point is it's taken 10 years, right, to get to the size I am. And that's the first thing, it's perseverance. Long-term commitment. Building muscle takes a long time. It takes a long time. I mean, in theory, if you were to start training or start stimulating the body, forcing it to go anabolic, taking supplements and training and all the rest of it, forcing the body into an anabolic stage, it takes 3 months for it to start releasing growth factors. Well, no, it releases growth factors straight away, but it takes about 3 months for those growth factors to cause the cells to develop muscle, because the first response of cells is to recognize the presence of growth factors. Then it starts upregulating its protein manufacture by communicating with ribosomes and all the rest of it. So without going into the detailed science of it, it takes the body time to develop muscle in response to consistent and continuous stress and strain. Like going to the gym, for example, or working outside as a labourer or as a fisherman or something, like constant strain and work on the body will cause muscle growth, but it takes time to even begin. And then initially the gains are minor. You might even notice them. So I went basically an entire year of training before I even gained. I gained 3 pounds or 2 pounds or something over the first year of my training. So most of my weight gain has been since that first year. The first year I basically got nothing. Now I increased in strength over that year, because it's possible to increase in strength within a matter of weeks. Doesn't take that long to start developing strength increase, especially if you're going from complete noob to all of a sudden training regular and training hard. Your body responds quite quickly to that. It's a little harder to put on strength gains when obviously your body's used to it, because obviously you're already at a high level. To go to a high level normally takes muscle growth to do that. If your muscles are already toned, you can't tone them anymore, so to speak. But my first point, my first advice is not to expect overnight results. If you're looking for overnight results, this is not the sport for you. This is not the practice for you. Do it every now and then, by all means, casually, but don't expect to be coming out looking like Jay Cutler or Ronnie Coleman by the end of it. It's taken them 20 years, 30 years of training. All the top bodybuilders are normally in their late 30s, early 40s. Same with the strong men and stuff. To get to those sizes, it takes a long time. It doesn't happen overnight. If it did, there'd be a lot more bigger guys out there. Big guys are rare, and that's one of the reasons. One, it's not genetics or anything, although genetics help. It's simply, it takes a long-term commitment. And for that, you need to love and enjoy it. So that's my second advice. Enjoy what you're doing, because you're going to be, at times, doubting yourself. You're going to be thinking, why the fuck am I doing this? I don't want to do this no more. When the pain hurts, or if you're dieting or anything like that, it's not something you want to be doing half the time. But if you're enjoying it, then that doesn't matter so much. You'll have the odd moment of doubt, but you'll keep continuous. Because it's too many guys, they start off and they do really well, make really good progress over 3-4 months. And then obviously things start to slow down as they do. Or maybe a year, they train for a year, and then things start to slow down. They suddenly lose interest. They take another year off and then come back a year later and go, oh, I'd made really good progress, what they do. But they never get anywhere in the long term. They make short-term gains, but then they lose it. And then they make short-term gains and they lose it. You need to be consistent. So you need to understand it's a long-term commitment. You need to be consistent and persistent. And obviously then you also need to make sure, now diet isn't that important, you just need to make sure that you're eating enough. If you're starving your body, if you're not eating enough, you're never going to get big and strong. It's as simple as that. The body needs to fuel, it needs the basic building components to build muscle. So you need protein, which is the bricks and mortar of your body. The protein makes the muscle, but if you've just got protein in your body and no energy, that's no good either, because the protein will just sit in your body and then you'll pee it out. You also need to give the body energy, calories, yes, so that the body's got the energy to then put those proteins together to make muscle. So you need to feed your body. Now that can come in the form of a McDonald's, Burger King, fast food, whatever, it doesn't matter. Or it can come in the form of salad, and that it doesn't really matter. Obviously the cleaner the food, generally speaking, the more you'll have to eat and more regularly you have to eat, because they've got less calories in them. But the cleaner the food, the better quality your physique will be anyway. As long as you're eating enough to grow, it doesn't matter where it's coming from, essentially. It just, obviously if you've got a high fat diet alongside a high protein diet, you're probably going to put a little bit around your belly as well. Okay, so it depends on how clean and lean you want your physique. Alright, but ultimately if you eat enough, you will be able to grow, providing you train correctly. And that's the other thing. When it comes to training, too many guys out there see certain exercises and they waste their time on it, like crossover cables, for example, which is where you go like this with the crossovers to build up the middle chest here. Okay, and you contract like this, yes, on crossover cables. There's other exercises, a lot of dumbbell exercises and that a lot of guys, they just do really light weights on. And sometimes it's because they believe they can get bigger on light weights. No, they don't. Big weights build big muscle. That's it. That's it. Big weights build big muscle. You want to get big, you want to get strong, you need to lift heavy. Or heavy for your body, relative to your body. Okay? But the other thing is, sometimes they're capable of a lot more weight, but they believe that certain exercises are there to help you rip up or tone up or shape the muscle. Calf raises or, say crossover cables. These are the sort of movements that people often do very light weights but high reps, thinking it will, give them striations across the muscle or whatever it is, or shape the head of the muscle. Again, that's a load of bullshit, and it's not their fault. It's a common belief. But muscle weights, all weights do is increase muscle mass. They don't rip you up. Yet they'll rip you up if you do like 1,000 reps every day or whatever, because you're just burning so many calories. But there's far more efficient ways to do that, i.e. go on a treadmill, a rower, a bike, anything like that. Do cardiovascular work and diet, and then you'll get ripped up. It's cardio and diet that rips you up. Weights is a form of exercise, so can become cardio depending how you use it, but it's a very inefficient way of doing it. And you really only want to be using the weights to build strength and muscle mass. And so what I'll say is, don't waste your time on light weights that are when I say light weights that are seriously way too light, you're never going to feel them no matter how many times you lift them during the day. You're not going to feel them. There are times and places for light phase workouts. I do 3 months a year of light phase workouts where I'm doing sets of 20. But those sets of 20, by the time I come off it, I'm like, wow, I can only do 2-3 sets like that at most, and I'm gone then, what I'm trying to say. So I'm still dealing with decent weights. For example, today I did 26 reps, and I failed the 27th rep, but I did 26 reps on a 100 kilogram bench press. Now that's not a light weight, but it's a light phase workout in many respects, okay? But it will still build muscle because it's enough weight there. Now, by the time I'd done that, I couldn't do anything else. So I put 60 kilos on quickly, and I did a set of 10 and a set of 6, but that was it then. I had to leave the gym. So that's what I'm trying to say. The light weights are things like 2.5 kilogram dumbbells and things like that, but you're not going to feel them. Unless that is heavy for you. Everyone's got different strength levels, but you know what I'm trying to say? Don't take the piss out. Lift the weights to build muscle. So consistency, persistency, understanding, the patience to understand it's not going to become overnight. Diet and heavy weights. And these are the ways to get big. They're the ways to put muscle on and size. And, I think that's about it, really. I'll do other videos, but this is just a quick advice video. So nice one, guys. Thanks for watching.